Yeah, you've already got somebody in here. Cool. Good evening. I know my lovely hair is a mess. I just got in from weed eating, and I have nothing on my chat board, so I don't even know if it's working. I'd say probably not. So let's try pop out chat. I don't know what that little alien looking thing is, but now I have a chat screen. All right, move that dude over here. Just got in from weed eating. It is hot and humid. Well, it's not really hot anymore, but it's humid as all get out. And we might be trying to dry out. What's up, Jerry? Looking at high price transfer case parts at Cobra Transmission Supply. Yeah, some of them places are really pretty high. It's down in the 70s now here, but it was pretty humid today. This was a last minute, so I don't know that there's going to be anybody hardly show up tonight, Jerry. It's just maybe you and me. Going through Facebook as we're doing this live. I'm terrible at promotion. I do no good at that at all. I'm not a social butterfly, so I still don't understand half this social media junk. I probably know enough just to get me in trouble, you know what I mean? And it says I'm live. That's funny. Saturday pulling paid, didn't have regular employees, so I got a heck of a buy. You always got to love those, Jerry, don't you? Arizona senators drop audit bomb. Have to look at that later. Yeah, Jerry, that's exactly what I'm doing, but that's a good discussion point. So, yeah, the shims go underneath that bearing that's on that upper planetary. It sits on top of the reaction shaft, and the deal is the late model one. There's two different models of that roller reaction shaft. The reaction shaft, there's one that's like 2001 to 2006, and then you got 2007 to the end of its life. And the the upper planetary is also different that I found out to accommodate the new bearing. Is a new bearing that the pocket that sits in the pocket of the reaction shaft has a lip on it, and it's physically smaller in size. It's smaller in outer diameter, and it's smaller on the inner diameter. So the planetary set on the bottom side of it is machined to accept that bearing. It will not take an earlier. What I found, excuse me. What I found is it will not take a early model planetary, and you can't put that bearing in the early model. They're specific to the year, basically, is what I'm saying. So I had some shims that came in the Sonex it's not a performance pack, it's the other one. And you put the shims under that. They only give you 2 10,000 shims though, and it really needs to be 30. But I put them in there that way, and I'm at the very top of the spec as far as in play on the output shaft, which is tolerable. I mean, it'll fly, but first time I ran into that, most of the time when I've built the transmissions in the past, of course, you just order it for the years at, GM, and they just send you the right stuff. But when you start working with aftermarket parts and you're putting late model parts in early model transmissions and so on and so forth, you always run into a snag on builds. And that's kind of what I ran into. So what I did is I checked the one that I ordered for Scarlett's transmission, and I did the same thing on that one. It's like 74717B, I think is the late model. It's 2007 and up. 74717A is the early model, 2001 to 2006. And depending on your transmission, obviously, you can't interchange them. And I had ordered a set of five gear planets for my transmission. And I was like, well, I'm going to check those and see if they're any different. And they're the same way. So, I mean, I couldn't use it either. By the way, if you're out there, make sure to smash that thumbs up button for me, if you would, please. It helps the YouTube algorithm get out there. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, if you're out there listening, I got to say thank you very much for being a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, I'm almost at 1,800 subscribers, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. I don't know where this channel is going to go. I'm just going to keep plugging away at it, and hopefully I'll have that one video that'll go viral, and everything will take off. But for now, I'm just going to do me and do what I can when I can, because I still work full time. I don't know how these guys do it that do it full time. I don't know if you guys are subscribed to Demolition Ranch, Matt over there, and of course he runs 2 channels. He runs Off the Ranch and Demolition Ranch. And he just hit 10 million subscribers on Demolition Ranch. I'm like, holy cow. And I think it's because he does a lot with Pew Pews. I watched his channel. In fact, he had Goldberg on there the other day. That was pretty cool. I'm sure he's met a lot of really cool people, especially being in Texas too. And I can't wait to see that mansion that he bought. Well, he calls it just a house, and it was the abandoned mansion, but I can't wait to see that thing when it's done. Oh, that thing's going to be gorgeous. Not that it isn't already. I mean, he's done it right for sure. It's pretty impressive. I thought about either getting with him or maybe just getting him with maybe doing some merch or something like that down the road. I'm nowhere near big enough to support merchandise. I mean, I'd love to. Jerry, I'm surprised you just didn't grab the whole transfer case. But I'm sure they probably charge you less if you take it apart. But what's up there, Bill? How the heck are you? We're finally drying out from Elsa. We didn't get hit real hard here because we're inland, but it sure brought us a lot of rain. I mean, we got a lot of rain. There was a couple of times it blew really good, but nothing to cause any damage here. I feel sorry for the folks that were down south that get pummeled pretty hard with that stuff. So, always keep them in my prayers, especially the folks that lost their life in that building collapse down there. That was bad news. It's no way to do it. And of course, apparently, I guess the building had some strikes against it for a while, and they just never did anything with it. Man, that water tastes good tonight. Yeah, Jerry, the pick and pulls down here aren't that great. They want to charge you an arm and a leg for everything that you get. Baseball size hell. Man, I haven't seen that in a while. Of course, I used to live up in Missouri. We'd get some storms pretty good like that every once in a while. I've been to Indy, Jerry, a long time ago. I also went to Evansville. I don't know if you remember the guy from My Classic Car that had the handlebar mustache. They did a car show years ago. Me and my buddy just before I was married, we said, "Hey, let's go do a road trip." He says, "All right, what do you want to do?" He says, "Let's go to a car show." All right. So we trucked it over there to Evansville, and went to My Classic Car show. And man, we had a blast. Man, there was a lot of cool cars back then. Hey, I want to talk to you guys about something. And if you're a car guy, you've probably heard of it. There's a big talk about changing the legislation in the RPM Act. Here's the thing, guys. it's not that I don't support the RPM Act, but it doesn't take into account for the guys that do the hot rodding on the street, and they try to do it as legal as possible. There's so much gray area in that the EPA is using it to their advantage. And with that being said, I'm kind of afraid to modify anything that I've got. And it's because I don't want them to get a corn cob up their butt and decide, oh, well, guess what? We're going to come after your cars too. I'm not going to build something and have somebody take it away. I'll fight for it for sure. Watching what Yoda's doing here behind me. North Central Missouri, 5 inches of rain last night. More on the way tonight. Yeah, my mom still lives up in Missouri. In fact, she's north of Kansas City. That tells you where she's at. But yeah, she said she lost power last night about 3 a.m. this morning. I guess it was this morning. Yeah, I really think the EPA is really overstepping their power. They're using that gray area that's in the legislation to use it against, just normal everyday people. And I don't think it's right. Stuff like that, it's worth, getting with Congress and stuff. The only problem is once you start, I wouldn't put it past them, but once you start saying something about it, it kind of makes you a target. But at any rate, I think it's going to change the way I'm going to go with Scarlett. I think I'm going to keep it as legal as I can, which means I'm going to have to use the factory computer unless I find something better that I can control everything with, like the EGR valve, which is electronically controlled on that car. The air pump has 2 valves and it's electronically controlled. The way they design that is when the car is cold, it puts power to one of the solenoids, and it directs air in both exhaust manifolds. And then once it gets up to about, I think it's 140 degrees, it switches those solenoids. They're over there underneath that cover on the right-hand side. Once it gets like 140 degrees, it switches, and then it sends the air down to the catalytic converters. So you got to have some way to control that. You got to have some way to control the EGR valve. You got to have some way to control the purge solenoid. Yeah, Bill, I would say that, but I don't know if you're going to get that lucky about grandfathering it in. I mean, I don't know if you could. I don't know if that would work that way. Yeah. I did like that deal where they're saying they're going to go door to door. I'd just like to see them try that. First of all, it's none of your business whether or not I got a shot or not, and that's the way it's going to be. Not to you all personally, but I'm just saying if they came to the door, that's what's going to happen. Because it's true. It's none of their business. That kind of oversteps the boundary. And then they were saying today that, well, that's their They have a right to know. No, they don't. I'm sorry, but they don't. But anyway, probably should get off of that because I'm not sure that it isn't affecting my channel in some way. So I'm trying to avoid that. Just stick to the car stuff. But anyway, yeah, I've got. It may change the way I go with Scarlett anyway. Right, for sure. So if you're coming in late, I've been working with Austin's transmission, and I was talking about the reaction shaft carrier. I've got a whole bunch of videos recorded. I ran out of space on this computer to put videos on. So I had to move some stuff around and to make some more room, but I'm running out faster than I can get this other computer built. And I got to get some stuff sold. I've been so busy. I'm trying to get this transmission done, and then I'll be done with. I'll be done doing some transmissions for people for a little bit till I can get some stuff around here done and sold. And because we need to have a massive garage sale, but man, has it been hot, humid, and I don't know that I can get that many people to come out. Yeah, Jerry, I was looking for some more of those shims that I needed for, like I said, I'm at the top of the travel on my end play. End play is supposed to be between, I think they said 20 and 30 thousandths. I don't know if I can look that up or not. I don't remember what GM spec is. Let me pull up SI here. Oop, lost something here. Fat fingered it and everything. See what it says the end play is supposed to be here. It may not even tell me, but it's an 04 pickup transmission, two-wheeler, Silverado. Got your Silverado. Full 60E specifications in play. Well, that's not what I was looking for. The end play that they're showing is for the shims up on top. And right now, with what I've got it in, it's like perfect. Fluid pumper, reverse input housing, backing plate. Yeah, the only thing it gives is just the front play, the end play, but they don't do the output shaft end play. Which that's just as important. Yeah, 20 to 30 thousandths is what I was thinking it was too, Jerry. My mic's unscrewing here. Yeah, I've seen them tight. Jerry, I've seen them be really snug. Um, Here's the thing: you got to allow for expansion. When that stuff gets warm, it's going to get to the point where stuff's too tight, and you don't want it to be too tight because then it won't roll easy. The action in this transmission's great with where I've got it now. I mean, it's super smooth. I Like I said, I don't really want to go. I'd like to go a little bit more snug, but for mine, I just went ahead and ordered a couple of, yeah, I know what he's talking about. Excuse me. Sonex makes a kit, that goes underneath it goes inside your lower planetary set, and it's got a bearing on top of it instead of a washer, and it puts more load. It puts a better load on it instead of walking sideways, and it works pretty good. But I don't have that on this one. But like I said, I just ordered. I went ahead and ordered a couple of period correct reaction shafts, which is 2001 to 2006. Yeah, 50 thousandths is excessive. I'm right at probably 30 thousandths right now, which is the top of the travel. And Jerry, if you replaced your reaction shaft on that, and with the later model one, you may end up with the same issue, where there's too much, the pocket's too deep. Yeah, I added two 10,000 shims, the one that Sonex give with it, and it's a whole lot better. Yeah, yeah. That tool is rather pricey, but every once in a while, you can find one that's extremely reasonable. I didn't give that much for mine. You just have to kind of watch eBay and Amazon and those kind of places, and every once in a while, you'll run across one of those that's pretty reasonable. I'm sure that one's probably brand new for $500. I know I didn't give that much for mine. In fact, I'm trying to think of where I got that thing from. I don't remember if I bought it on eBay or if I bought it somewhere else. Let me see if I can find out. There it is. Purple Border Collie. I paid $2.99 for mine, and it was from Atlantic City Pickers off of eBay. Of course, I'm sure they don't have one like it. Oh, I lost my my chat window. Where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, I'd agree. You'd think it was just $5 of parts in one, but they're definitely proud of them. Let's see what it says when I said view similar. Where is? Well, I was going to try to send this to you, but I don't know. Here. Copy. Paste. Purple Border Collie. There you go. There's a item number for one that's on there right now, and that's the same guy that I bought it from. Of course, it went up $40, but still, that's not too bad. They're not cheap, but just go to eBay and put that number in there, and it'll pull it right up. Well, great. I'm Boca Chevy. I'm glad that that the videos helped you out. Tell you, it's been years since I've had to go through one of those. Of course, you know, they took those out of service in 2007. They still had a few of them out after 2007, but they started using the 6L80 and the 6L90. So thanks, Jerry. You take care of yourself, buddy. And I'm sure we'll talk soon. Midnight Auto. Ah, now you're speaking my language. She's got cookies. I'm a sucker for a good cookie. Half tempted to whip up a pina colada night. That's kind of one of them nights. When I get off of here, I'm going to go try to get some more done on Austin's transmission. I just took a break to come in here and do a live stream with y'all. But as you can see, my arms are still dirty. So, speaking of 6L series, so I had this 6L90 in this 3/4 ton pickup. Of course, it'd come in with a normal complaint: check engine light on, missing gears. Right? Love pina coladas. Anyway, so I had this 6L90 come in, and this thing, eventually, by the time I got driving it, it wouldn't go in reverse. Wouldn't go in drive. It basically, something had welded itself together inside. And the transmission temperature was stupid hot. 261 and still climbing. It'd get to the point where it shut the TCM off because it's internal to the transmission. It'd get hot enough, it'd shut the TCM off, and then it would default and insert in gear. So anyway, I had to go through it, and of course the torque converter failed and tore the pump up. Welded the 4, 5, 6 clutches together. Completely smoked the 3.5 reverse. And the rest of them were damaged too, and just full of debris. So I priced it out because when we do a transmission under warranty, you have to do what they call a cost analysis on it. And it has to meet a certain amount of money before you can replace it. I didn't have enough hard parts in this thing to completely condemn the transmission, so I ended up having to overhaul it, which I like doing that transmission. That's really a pretty decent transmission. The failed part on them all the time is the torque converter. And purple border collie, that is, I would agree to that 100%, except for this is a gas motor, so it had a 6L90 in it. It had a 6-liter with a 6L90. Allison's didn't come unless you got the diesel. Now, the earlier years, 2001 to 2007, early 2007, you could get an Allison behind an 8100 or the diesel. I've got an 02 with an 8100 in it and an Allison. Absolutely love that truck. It's just been a workhorse. Yeah, it doesn't get the same fuel mileage as the diesel does, and it'll pull anything I want to pull with it. And the amount of money that I spent in gas is far less than the repairs if I would have had the diesel of the same year, because I just had problems with them left and right. And I'm definitely glad that I don't have anything with the diesel emissions nowadays, because they're just ridiculous. But anyway, so I get this thing all built and put back together, and I try to flush the cooler out, because that's part of the procedure. You have to flush the cooler to make sure it's going to cool the transmission off. And lo and behold, it's plugged solid. I can't get any fluid flow through it whatsoever. And so been across that before. And the radiator plugs up. The cooler in the radiator plugs up. So I I get a radiator for it, put it in there. Look at the old one. Sure enough, there's tons of debris in there and it's plugged up. So I put everything back together, try to flush it again. I'm still not getting any cooler flow. I'm like, okay, well, the auxiliary cooler is plugged up too. So I got an auxiliary cooler and I was like, you know what? I'm going to test this thing before I put this cooler on to make sure that we don't have a problem somewhere else. And so I hooked up the flushing machine and put the wood to it. Sure enough, I can't get any fluid flow through it either way. It's like, this is interesting. So I pulled the line off of the bottom of the radiator because it comes at the cooler comes out of the transmission on the top line and it goes into the bottom of the radiator. And this is something you guys need to know when you're doing a cooling transmission cooler lines. On GM, the cooler line, the feed from the transmission always goes in the bottom and it forces the fluid up the cooler and out the top hole. That's the way they all are. That's how it works. So I took the one off the bottom and I try to flush it there. Can't get anything through it. I put 130 pounds of shop air through it. Still couldn't get hard. I got maybe a trickle out of it. This dang transmission had gotten so hot that when the clutch debris got to that rubber hose, it molded inside that the rubber flexible part of that transmission cooler line, and it plugged the thing up. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. So I ended up having to put the whole cooler line set on it too. And then when I flushed, I finally got cooler flow. So I put the thing back together. This thing shifted beautiful. I'm not tooting my own horn or nothing, but I was thoroughly impressed with it. I mean, for as hot as it was, the TCM survived. I didn't want to have to replace that because everything's on galactic back order. Oh, good Lord. Because of semiconductor shortages and stuff like that. And I knew that thing worked when I drove it the first time until it welded the clutches because it got too hot. But so yeah, everything, it worked like a champ, shifted beautiful. I was just tickled. So there's some things I learned about that transmission too, like making sure to polish or knock the glaze off all your aluminum. It makes a big difference in the way they shift. They're so much smoother. But so what's up in your all's world? I'm doing all the rattling right now. Anything out there that's striking you? Which O-ring you're talking? The little one that clear to the front. You're talking about the torque converter seal? If that's the one you're talking about, they call that a turbine shaft seal or torque converter seal. Probably a torque converter seal. The turbine shaft seal is further down. I don't know the part number off the top of my head. I don't know if I can get that from you. What years is that 700? I'll see if I can look it up. Did I close that down? I did. Let me log back in here. I can give you the GM number anyway. Crap in my eyes from weed eating. Okay. Let's see if I can pull that up. I may not be able to. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, I should. Because they use the same one on the 4L60Es up until about 99. So we'll look up like a 99 Camaro. Since it's a third gen deal. Oh, that's not what I wanted anyway. I want the parts catalog. I'll look it up under 90 to see if it comes up. 90 Camaro transmission. Okay. Is it in this picture? It is. 618. Sealed. Turbine shaft O-ring. Believe it or not. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 619 is the other one. So 618 should be in 863 0049. And it doesn't tell me if that's in a merchant pack or Merc pack. On that one, it will probably not come in a pack of 5. You probably can get that one individually. Yeah. It even says it's, well, I don't know if I'd have to look it up at work, but we can't do pricing here. Sometimes I can get part numbers though. So yeah, 863 0049 is the part number for that. What's up, Stephen? And Dr. Remilak, I see you. I just was trying to finish answering what it in. You're correct. Electrical nightmare, but getting it done. Yeah. Yeah, you got to make sure everything's right on that thing or that transmission will shift funny for sure. Yeah, if, like I said, your code on the side of the transmission will usually tell you whether or not, even though it may be an 04, it may be like an 03 something CCD. Oh, good Lord, Stephen. Yeah, that's a little warm. But, you know, you guys don't have as much humidity over there either. Purple Border Collie, if you're overhauling the transmission, that should be in your kit. Now in that year, it probably won't be orange, and it probably won't be green. Been shifting manually from second and driving sparingly. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, we just got done with just the opposite of what you guys got. We've been having a bunch of rain. Of course, we are in a rainy season, but I think it rained pretty much every day last week. Today wasn't too bad. I shouldn't have, like the wife said, why didn't you get the bike out? So I don't know. I didn't even think about it. It looked kind of questionable this morning. So I was like, yeah, I'll just drive. Hell, I may have to break down and just start riding that full time anyway, the way the gas prices are going. I can only imagine it's absolutely terrible over there in California. What's up, Christopher? How you doing? I'm doing well, thank you very much. Flooding rain in New Jersey. Yeah, you've got Doc. You've got that same Elsa storm. Just it was supposed to go straight up the coast, and bring a crap load of rain up there too. Yeah, we're not quite at $4 a gallon yet, Stephen. Here, it's three. I think it's right at $2.99 or just over $3 a gallon right here. But I mean, it was $1.89 before all this started. So I mean, stator shaft and the pump. Yeah, yeah. It usually does snowball there. Of course, I'm going to ask you, Purple Border Collie, if you put if you replace the stator shaft in the pump, obviously, I'm going to tell you, make sure to, if you haven't already replaced all the Teflon seals there, you only really want to use those once. I mean, sometimes you can get away with reusing them, but I don't recommend it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, we've gotten pretty wet. Yes, Zoe. Yeah, I hear you. How do we not hear you? Come here. Come here. Come here. I'll let everybody see you. This is the screamer. This is Zoe, and she's getting old. She's getting old and bony, and I don't think she hears too well anymore. New pump with seals, well, that's the way to do it. Then you got Foxy that's staring at me in the back on the left there. Nah, I don't bet that. She's a pain in the butt the older she gets. I mean, she talks all the time. My wife had got her for a friend of hers, and and she found out that she couldn't have cats. And the wife goes, well, what are we going to do with her? So she goes, well, I guess we'll take her to the pound. Says, no, we ain't taking her to the pound. We'll just keep her. And so we've kept her. And like I said, she's old. She's got to be at least 16. She struggles a little bit to get around anymore. And like I said, she's getting bony, but so is my cat too. And he's hiding somewhere. Foxy, the one over my my right shoulder there, she's the youngest. She's about 4. And then Yoda there in the chair. And yes, I named her Yoda. It's a strange deal, but she's trying to think of when we lost Mom. It was '07. I think we lost mom-in-law. So she's 14, 15 years old too. So they're all getting up there. But she's not happy unless somebody's holding her. Thanks, Christopher. Yeah, they're a handful. I've always been a dog person until I met my wife. Then she said she had a cat, and she goes, "You need to get a cat." All right, well, I got a cat, and then it grew into 2 more cats, or another cat, and we lost that one to. She was anemic. We lost her. Her name was Gizmo, and we ended up with 2 more cats. Used to have Rottweilers. Mississippi Cup. Yeah. You get the best trans advice from an old cat. Yeah. You just ask them a question, they just meow at you. At Wee Spa. What is that? Wee Spa. I guess I haven't caught that one. Oh yeah, the condo collapse down here. Yeah, that's a mess. I mean, I can't believe they tore it down that fast without searching for more people. But you know, yeah, I'd agree that whole thing is a mess. Yeah, Steven, she knows better. I'm going up and reading some of the old ones here I missed. She knows better than bite. If she bites, she gets down real quick. She knows better than that. Wish I could move the camera. You can see the dogs crashed on the floor too. We just got a house full of pets. Now that there are kids, I mean, we never had any actually upright 2-legged kids. So these are all our kids, and we got 2 horses out there too. Yeah, we love them. We love them all. For the longest time, we used to let them sleep in the bedroom with us, and we can't leave the door open because this little one here behind me, unfortunately, likes to mark things occasionally, and we've got a cover on this couch that's behind me, and if we didn't, that couch would be ruined. That's got some kind of fabric protector on the cover, and like I said, I don't know why she does it. I think she's done it ever since she was really young. Yeah, Doc, I would agree with that. I'm anxious to see what happens with this class action that our former greatness has launched against big tech. I'd like to see them get the wool pulled out from them and get rid of that. Get rid of the Section 230 or the 230, the Bill 230, whatever it is that protects them. Well, I guess I could see that. If all female cats fight over space, we've got 3 of them. Is that right? Yeah, because we got 3 female cats. Yeah, I hope. I mean, the guy is smart. I know there's a lot of people that didn't like him just because of the way he is. But as far as a businessman, the guy is very smart. No, I don't, Steven, I don't think I can see any more Godzilla movies. I mean, they're beating that one to death. I mean, it's just they 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 can't come up with a new original movie, so they do a lot of remakes, until they can come up with something. Now I can't say anything because I really want to see the new Fast and Furious movie. I know it's a lot of BS and unbelievable stunts that could never happen in real life. Um, but if you notice, a lot of the new ones are saying only in theaters, and that's to push to get people to go back to the theaters again. But I know the last time I went to a movie in a theater, it was $30 for. It was more than that by the time if you got any kind of drink or anything like that, you're going to spend $50 at the theater. Yeah, here's the thing. They need to get over the hate for him personally, and pay attention to what he does for the country. That's all that should matter. I mean, no matter, whether or not you don't like the personality, you should still uh, pay attention to what he does for the country. It's all to make the country better. And yeah, Bill, I'd agree that I think there's going to be a cover up there, just kind of like the two large structures that were in New York that mysteriously fell, and that one side short of a stop sign that mysteriously fixed itself overnight. Seems like, yeah, I would happen to agree with that. And that's all the mainstream media, that's kind of persuading. A lot of that comes from our overseas buddies. Yeah, I've heard stories that there was a problem with there was cracks in that thing all over the place, and that the pool was on top of the parking garage or something like that. And that before the thing collapsed, I guess somebody said that there was just water pouring into the parking garage. So yeah, and Bill, a lot of people don't. His personality is kind of stale. Um, he's very blunt, to say the least. but he knows what he's doing as far as business, and that's what this country needs. And needs smart deals, business transactions to make the country better. Yeah, I'm sure. Seems like they were awful hurry to get that building down too. And how many lives were unaccounted for? Oh, goodness gracious. Got a lot of outdoor critters going off tonight. A lot of frogs out tonight. Yeah, I'd heard it was over 100 also. It's sad that they didn't find very many of them. There's a who's the lieutenant North Carolina has a lieutenant governor. I don't remember anyway, but he I just watched a video of him talking about freedom and speech. I think was the two words that he was talking about. Just a fantastic video. If you guys get a chance, you ought to see it. I don't know if I can try to pull that up too. Let's see. Lieutenant Governor, that's who I was talking about. I wonder if I can copy link address. Here, let's do that. There you go. That's his video. Yeah, this lieutenant governor is just awesome. Best speech I've heard in a long time, and he's dead on the money. I really like this guy. He stands for everything the country is based on. I'm not sure that since he's got one, and I don't think, can a president run more? Somebody asked me this. I mean, I know that they can only run 2 consecutive terms, but what if he's got a term that's in between that he's not run? Can he run for 2 more consecutive terms? Are they limited to just 8 years? Or can you do 2 years off a year, or 4 years off 4 years, and then on 4 years and on another 4 years? Bill, he was fighting an uphill battle. I mean, he was. See, I thought it was only 2 consecutive terms. I figured if it was split up, you could still run a total of 12 years, I guess is what I'm getting at. Yeah. Yeah, it would. Oh, well, I didn't hear they had 79 found. I thought it was some really low number is all they found. I didn't realize they found 79 of them. That's better than what I thought. Well, while you guys are pondering that, I'm going to get some water. Some water. Yeah, nothing was more humiliating than that witch that was behind him tore up his speech right in front of him. That's like total disrespect. Oh, you mean that thing right there? That's a little cat house. It's usually out in the sunroom, but when we went on our last trip and we were gone for 9 days, I brought it inside so the cats could have. They like to go in there and school and crash in there and hide out. I never put it back in the sunroom. It's still been sitting there. Demon rats. Bite me, Sturm. We could only get that lucky, you know. I don't, you know, I've heard all sorts of different things as far as that's concerned, and I would love to see it happen, but something needs to happen, you know, because right now we're going down the toilet. Yeah, Steven, I thought about taking and putting a couple of those LED strips on it and lighting that dude up. And I thought that would be pretty cool, but then it would defeat the purpose. Well, I don't know if we're that far gone yet, Bill. I think we're kind of like that one turd that won't go down, you know. Just kind of sitting there on the top. Boomerangs. Well, she's definitely gotten rich off the off being in office, that's for sure. She's got custom ice cream and freezer and that kind of stuff. That woman is evil. Oh, she's evil. I think she's more evil than Hildebrand. Trying to avoid saying words to get it to come out on get a strike against me or something. Yeah, but it's not something that needs to be in our country. And that's sad when they're doing that. Because ultimately the kids are the oh, I've lost my train of thought. They don't need to be the middleman. They're the victims, is what I was trying to say. The kids are the victims. Some of them don't understand what's going on. And maybe it's better that way, but to be used like that, that's just not cool. Oh, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Anyway. Well, y'all, I think I'm about talked out for the night. Yeah, goatee. That's funny. I'm about talked out for the night, so I thank you all for coming and joining me. Stephen, I don't have one done for tomorrow. Like I said, I'm still trying to move things around. I haven't had time. I'm trying to get this transmission done, and I pretty much got the whole thing on the phone right now. Well, on my camera. I haven't uploaded any of the videos, so. But anyway, thank you all for coming by. I appreciate it. This was kind of a last minute, so just wanted to say hey and see what's going on. And y'all take care of yourself. God bless you. God bless America. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.